So for whatever reason, I can't broadcast. Hold This is already a disaster. Why is this? That better? Okay. Just gonna close out of that, make it easier. Hi, everybody. Um, as you can tell, this is not a traditional episode of the Greg Cherry Show. It's not even really an episode. It's just um, me talking at you. As I'm sure you noticed, there was no show last week due to the 4th of July holiday. And as I had posted on my Twitter yesterday, there was very much consideration for me taking an even longer break, which did not happen for reasons. Um, but Sunday night, I was considering um, ending my time as a content creator. And I was just going through a lot of mental stuff. We don't have to delve into all of that, but the long and short of it was it was a lot of factors that made me very frustrated with the content creation process. Promoting stuff is incredibly, incredibly difficult, as I've known for the longest time. And part of my frustration was seeing these other people online, and they weren't even necessarily content creators, but people just getting attention over the dumbest things and attention over negativity and whatever. I put that more succinctly in the Twitter post I had on Tuesday. Um, but all in all, I was just very burnt out. The last show we did was the Jack of all trades with Maven, which was phenomenal. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't because it was an incredible, incredible episode, and I'm glad we got to do it. And it was a lot of fun. Maven was an absolute blast to have on the show. What I was disappointed though with was the lack of response that it got. And I don't know whether it's like a Twitter algorithm or like a YouTube algorithm or what I'm doing wrong in the content creation space that I cannot gain any traction. So that was built up frustration. That's been built up frustration for the longest time. And I pride myself on why is that coming up? I didn't put that up there. StreamYard's just having a mind of its own. But yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. And I kind of just wanted to get everybody's thoughts. And I'm going to try and share this on Twitter if I'm able to, because my computer is running at 1 mile per decade. It's completely absurd. But it's just so incredibly insane to me. And I'm not saying it comes easy to a lot of these content creators. They've grown their audience. They've done the work, and I'm not frustrated with them. I'm more frustrated that because I can't get any traction and because I've asked for help, that, you know, nothing of what I am doing is working. And it's maddening. I'm going to share this on my channel. I was hoping to go live on my channel. It's probably because I freaking deactivated a couple days ago that's not processing correctly, but just give me 1 second. I'm going to share, because I have this going on Jeff's Twitter right now. Very much appreciate you all watching. I have to share this. Try not to hold this particular video against me, guys. It's just a vent session. I just really need some help, some like guidance, something to know that I'm doing this right, because the numbers, the analytics and whatnot don't reflect it. I know I say like there's a lot of people that were incredibly kind to me yesterday, and I'm very appreciative for them. I'm very thankful for them. But for what it's when it comes to my content, it is just not showing it. There. All right. That's better. Emmanuel saying, I'm assuming more people in chat need to share and be interactive to new people who do not see the show. That's the truth. And I've said this before. I believe I said it in the post. I cannot market myself to save my life. I believe in the content that we produce. I believe in the Greg Cherry Show. I believe in Jack of All Trades. I believe in luck of the draw. I believe in some show ideas that I want to bring to the channel to add to what we have. I believe in those ideas. The problem I have is gaining an audience. And I know you guys like the show because you keep coming back. You keep coming back, you keep enjoying the show, you keep donating if you do, and donating is not a requirement. It's very much appreciated, but it's not a requirement. I don't know what I need to do to market myself. I try to go on social media. I try to be kind. I try to be supportive. I try and check out other people's content. I'm not perfect with it, but I try to be there. And it is hard. It is hard with as much content as is out there and as many content creators that are out there. It's incredibly hard to find a following. There are some great people that do worse numbers than me. And I'm not exactly lighting up the scoreboard, you know what I mean? It's I need to figure out what to do to get better. And I might need your help for that. Mike's asking what about trying to see if SRS can help you out or give you advice? I can do that. I can ask Sean. I don't know, like, as far as what my content needs to be, or like how much he knows about the YouTube algorithm, or if that's more of a Jimmy Van thing. I don't know. Sean's been on the show before. Sean's great. He does a ton of great work. He does a lot of the reporting stuff. He does a lot of the video shows. He does great work. I'm not discounting what Sean brings to Fightful because it's a lot. For my content though, because it's not strictly wrestling news. It's not strictly talking about pro wrestling. Is it something I'm passionate about? Of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Otherwise, I wouldn't be a trivia champion for 6 years. Otherwise, this, that, and the other thing. But I do want to expand that market because pro wrestling has so many content creators, so many good content creators. And there are some that aren't as good. Not talking about anybody in particular. But like I feel like I offer something that is different than what some other people offer. Is the Greg Cherry Show an original idea? No. I mean, it's a discussion show. It's basically any talking head show that you've ever seen. And talking head shows are a big deal. I mean, look at the news, which kind of makes me puke to make that comparison. But a lot of news programs do talking heads, and that's pretty much exclusively what they do. They interview people and they talk to people and blah, blah, blah. The Greg Cherry Show is a number of things. Is Jack of all trades a completely original idea? Nope. And I've told you that from the beginning of the show, that it was basically my way to get on Quizlemania without actually getting on Quizlemania. But now that Quizlemania is not around, it's the only game in town. Luck of the Draw is an original, so that one I'm proud of. And James, I'm very much appreciative of this. And again, it's not just necessarily about the money, because this is not a full-time job for me. It is a way to make a little bit of supplemental income if I can. I would like to gain the following, and I'm not talking about like I need Pat McAfee numbers. Like I don't need 50,000 people watching every single week. Would that be amazing? Sure, because he gets so many people watching live every week. He has the benefit of having been in the NFL and being a part of WWE and so many major brands, and he has an incredible personality as well. So would I like to get to the level of Pat McAfee? Yeah. Will I get to the level of Pat McAfee? I doubt it. Even if I have a modicum of success, I don't think I'll reach McAfee levels. But that's fine. I don't have to reach McAfee levels. I just want to be able to share my opinions with the world. That's why the Greg Cherry Show started. I don't feel like I have much of a voice in the real world. Not that this isn't the real world, because I'm talking to you on the microphone. But this was my place to let my voice be heard. It's been a way that I've been able to entertain so many people. And all I really want is the chance to do that to as many people as possible. I want to entertain as many people as possible. I cannot do that without your help. Again, it does not have to be financial help. A like, a subscribe, a share, a comment, any interaction with this show, leaving comments during the live stream, retweeting stuff on Twitter. If you're on the Facebook, sharing the stuff on Facebook, even with people that aren't wrestling fans, because that's not all I talk about. I talk about football. We talk about a whole bunch of things. Luck of the Draw has nothing to do with wrestling. Nothing. But it's still an entertaining show to bring people together. So give me some suggestions. What would you like to see? We have a guest. I don't know who's in the chat. Let me see. Jeffrey.
Oh, okay. I came in off camera on purpose, so I wasn't ready to come in yet, but okay.
That might be my audio.
Huh? I wasn't trying to come in and interrupt you, dude. I was just gonna come in and watch from backstage.
This always happens with this microphone. Give me a sec.
Check one. There we go. Okay. Okay, that works. Says it's working.
Here, let me check this out.
Okay, well, I can hear your background better.
I can hear you now.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, I wasn't trying to come in, by the way. I was just gonna hang backstage. That's why I had the camera off.
That's fine. You're
okay,
needed for
the. Well, no. I also made it so your Twitter is now broadcasting this. Also, I don't know why I wouldn't let you do it. That's kind of silly. But
I don't know. It's probably because I deactivated. That's why I thought it was giving me.
That's valid. That is valid. It very well could have. So it might be working. I went in and clicked it and it works. So maybe not messing with your Twitter on my computer didn't affect it. I don't know. But yeah, it's. We in the space of podcasting, streaming, whatever about wrestling, we are not a small bunch anymore like we were in 2002 when we started doing this crap on No DQ. It is more saturated than a color wheel in a Crayola factory. It's just ridiculous how much of us there are now. So you're not alone in the feeling unoriginal process and feeling like you're not being seen and not getting the kind of feedback. I promise it happens to everybody. Even I was talking with Aaron about this not that long ago. You know, numbers are down because there's so many. It's not that we're any greater than or less than anybody else. It's just that there's so damn many of us trying to occupy the same basic space. And it sucks. So it's unfortunate that, you know, when we were coming in, you know, under the radar, wrestling was maybe not as toxic in 2002, but definitely more frowned upon by the bigger companies. So there wasn't as much traction.
Yeah.
Whereas now, everybody and their mother wants to get some sort of, outlet, which is why people like Sean and Denise and everybody else are more successful, because they didn't start behind the eight ball. This is not a shot. This is not a thing on anybody, but the reputation of the long-standing folks was definitely sour. No DQ, Lords of Pain, all those guys, WrestleZone, all those guys were very shit upon as far as their media outlet content. So it's an unfortunate side effect of longevity.
Yeah.
Big
G, very much appreciated for the super chat. You didn't have to do that. I'll do my best to help out more with promoting. I literally just changed my channel to my cats and their videos. It's becoming, it's becoming hard to be just pro wrestling. There are people that gain a following. There are people that have great personalities, and that's not just YouTube. That's like TikTok, that's Twitch, wherever you find them. Great reactors, stuff like that.
Right.
The tough part for me, like I feel like if I went into doing wrestling reaction videos, I could probably do that. The problem is, I feel like I come across fake with reactions, trying to play up for the camera. Santi is a good example. Weezy Blonde's another good example. Con Man is a good example of people who've been on Twitch, TikTok, and have grown a massive following. I've talked with Con Man about coming on a show in the future too. And I would absolutely love to have him. I think that'd be fantastic, especially since, Mr. Tetchk is another good one. And I don't know, like, if they pay to get like a couple videos to get traction, to get people out there. If paying to like advertise is the biggest hurdle we have, maybe we'll figure that out.
Yeah,
because I feel like that's one of the things I've tried not to do, to try and grow it organically and try not to pay for advertising. But it's coming to a point where we either advertise or we stay where we are.
No, you're absolutely right. There's definitely a reason some of the other folks that have come along after the No DQ brand and you guys, the Greg Cherry brand and my stuff are more successful, because they had they either had the somebody that knows somebody factor involved with them. And again, this is not anybody, but Denise worked her ass off, got her degree, and then happened to be involved with X-Pac in her first major thing out in wrestling. That's a big name to be involved with. Sean Waltman still has major clout.
Mm-hmm.
God bless Sean Waltman, by the way. I love that man. And I love that he picked up on Denise right away and saw the talent there, because she's freaking talented as hell. The other thing is, or having the money when you start out to just have a little bit to pay for Twitter, or get the print or whatever the case may be. It is just one of those. It's one of those things that these opportunities weren't around. Even when you started your brand 5 years ago, they weren't as prevalent as they are now.
Yeah. And starting during the pandemic, I thought was a good time. Now, granted, I was also out of a job at the time when I really started digging my heels into doing the Greg Cherry brand stuff.
That's fair.
But and yes, Dwayne, if people gave me $100 super chats, I would be ecstatic.
Yes.
But I can't depend on that every single week, unless we have like 1,000, 2,000 people watching the show live. Then maybe I would be like, okay, well, I might not get $100 from one person, but like $100 a show from a collective group of people that are enjoying it, that wouldn't be as bad.
$100 a show is $4 a month. So I mean, shit, that's nothing to sneeze at. On that note, I do need to go because it's almost the bottom of the hour. But I didn't mean to pop in. I appreciate you bringing me in. But I gotta go do some things for AEW.
That's fine. I'm about to sign off too, because this is not a full episode of the Greg Cherry Show, obviously. But if you're watching this after the fact, after we're live, and please ignore like the first 10 minutes because that was a train wreck.
No, I missed that, so I don't know.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, If you guys have any suggestions, if you guys have anything that you want to see, because like I said, I have content ideas that I want to bring to the Greg Cherry Show that haven't been on the brand before, that I think would do decently, at least. Give me some suggestions. Give me some people to talk to. I want to grow this into something. If it's not a full-time thing, fine. But I'd like to make this more than just a hobby. Like, I'd like to make this something where it can bring another like couple $100 in a month or something like that. And whether that's super chats or whether that's ad revenue, whatever the case may be. So
Exactly.
So thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back next week with a regular edition of the Greg Cherry Show. Hopefully it won't be a depressed fuck, but
Shit.
no guarantees. Thank you for watching.
Never guarantee, but yeah, make sure everybody gets on Twix. I hate calling it Twitter. I hate calling it X because I just want to be contrary, be an asshole. I'm going to be a jag in this case. Get on Twix and just help the Twitterverse recognize that there is better options out there to occupy this space than, as Noah calls them, the Twitter twats.
The twatters.
Twatters. There you go. We'll work with that. We'll work with that.
All right. See you guys next week. Don't be a jag. Love yous.